Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. Hope everybody's doing well on this Sunday morning. It's raining here again. There's a running joke that every time I make a video, it's pouring. And again today, it's come true. Sorry, I've been a little absent. I was spending some time with my older boys. Sometimes it's just good to take a step back from your daily life and remember what's most important, and to me that's family. So I took a little time off and spent it with my two boys. Today's video is going to be on Bitcoin and ETH, and I might do Doge because it seems that all the alts dumped with Bitcoin besides Doge. So I am going to go over that one too, most likely, but today's video is going to be on Bitcoin and ETH and most likely Doge. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just the way that I see the market. So starting out on the daily time frame on Bitcoin, as you can see, it held well on this trend line that we have here. When it dumped down, it hit the trend line perfectly and held. That is a typical fourth wave. I don't see any worry in this current correction at the moment. It looks huge on a lower time frame, but looking at it on a daily, it doesn't look so bad. In my prior videos, we talked about a bull and a bear scenario. And I talked about this expanded B pocket here. The bearish scenario, which really wasn't bearish, was that we would come up correctively and hit this expanded B pocket, and then we would come back down. So what actually is happening here is we are creating an A, a B, and we're coming down for a C. Now this current, let me make this a little bigger. If we can hold this trend line and not break this A wave here, this will be a very bullish correction. It will be called a running flat if we don't break this A wave. If we break the A wave, it turns into what we call an expanded flat. That is the difference between the two. One breaks the A wave, one doesn't. One is not so. This is a very bullish correction because we hold a higher low, and this is not so bullish. Not that we can't recover from this, we definitely can. Even if we came down into this area here, I see that as a normal fourth wave. We were definitely looking for a bigger fourth wave in this run-up, and they like to come into the prior fourth wave. So even if this happens, it's not the end of the world, like I say. So let's take some projections here and get some targets of what to look for. So right now we're trying to hold the 618. It's trying its best to hold the 618. If it does not hold it, the next target is the 1-to-1, which would still be a running flat. Next target will be the 1.236, which still would be a running flat. Doesn't turn into expanded until we break the A wave. Now, a normal expanded flat likes to come to the 1.618. And you can take a screenshot of this for these targets. The deepest an expanded flat can come is the 2.618. If it goes past that, we have something else going on, meaning that we came down for a C, we made a correction, and then we have another move to the downside. If it goes past that. So let's talk about if we hold the running flat. What do we need to look for? In either scenario, what will I be looking for? I will be looking for divergence. Right now, on the 8-hour, I'm not seeing it. Now it's totally reset itself, and that's a good plus on the side of we could see a bounce here, but I'm going to be looking for divergence, meaning that I want to see this maybe come down like this, hit the 1-to-1, this come up like this, we make a lower low in price and a higher low in the RSI. That will be a major buy signal for me. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to happen on the 8-hour. It can happen on the 4-hour. But I feel like we're maybe on a higher trend, meaning we're on an 8-hour trend. But I can't be sure of that till I see what happens when we make divergence on the 4-hour. So I will be looking for it on the 4-hour first. Another thing to keep in mind is that right here at this red line, when the CME opens, we're going to have a gap. The CME is sitting at 61,980, and that's where this line is. So does it have to fill today? Does it have to fill tomorrow? No. As you remember, we had a gap somewhere down here. I think we filled it now. That it took a very long while before we filled it. And we still have gaps way down low here that we still haven't filled. So it doesn't have to always fill right away. Just remember that, okay? Moving on to ETH. ETH has the exact same scenario as Bitcoin. It created this is either a WXY or an ABC zigzag. It doesn't really matter at this point. But it did the same exact thing. It came up into the expanded B pocket, creating an A, a B, and now we're creating the C. What do we want here? The same thing as Bitcoin. We want to protect this low. We want this higher low. So let's take some projections on ETH. ETH has not quite hit the 618 yet. So it has a good chance that it could hold it. But if it doesn't, same as Bitcoin, next target is 1-to-1. That's still protecting the low. Then down into these fib levels, which still is protecting the low. And then the next one will be the expanded flat, which is at the 1.618, which happens to be where our trend line is here. And as I said before, the deepest it can go is the 2.618. But I'm not leaning this way, guys. I'm just telling you the deepest it can go. Normally, they come to the 1.618. So I will be looking for the same thing on ETH. I will be looking for divergence. Same exact thing. On the 4 hour, we don't have bullish divergence between these two. Maybe a tiny bit, but not really. I'm going to be looking for this to maybe come down, break the low, and create that divergence. That's what I want to see. That will make me very happy. That will be a buy, and I will trade that. Play it safe here, guys. Don't try to catch a falling knife. Okay? Definitely use your stops. Be careful. All right, let's take a look at Dodge. Dodge is the big talk. Dodge, Dodge, Dodge. Even my daughter-in-laws are calling. Should I invest in Dodge? Should I invest in Dodge? Everybody's talking about Dodge. And Dodge did not dump. It did not dump with the rest of the alts. I find that very interesting. So I have not even really looked at this closely. But it sure had a run, didn't it? Let's clean this up. Let's see how high this went. Let's see. Let me get it right on there. So it's just shy of the 1-to-1 there. We had a correction here. So this is very, very interesting, the way that it's taken off here. So the only really wonder if there's a DOGE US dollar, one that has more. Let's see if I can get some more price action. A little bit. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is much better for me. Okay. This definitely looks like a fourth wave in here. So if I had to say what's going on here, I would call this a 1, a 2. I think this is a very overextended 5th. Is what that is. And the 3rd is coming here. We'll make 4th and 5th on up. Didn't really plan to do this one. So you're watching me do this raw. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 3rd. So I'm going to say that the 1 is down here. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a fourth. This is an overextended fifth. And I'm going to say that's the top of the third. We're making a fourth. And we're going to get a fifth to go. Let me look at the indicator here. Yep, the highest point on the RSI is here. That tells me that's the top of the third. We're going to be making a fourth. This could have one more little push up for the third, meaning that we're in a sub-degree fourth and then we get a third that comes up one more hit to the high, and then we're going to get a fourth. Meaning that this third is not quite done. Let me look at the lower time frame here. Yes, we could get one more little hit to the high. Maybe. I'm thinking we're going to get one more little hit to the high. That's going to be the top of the third. And then we're going to get a correction for the fourth, which could possibly even come down into this prior fourth wave correction. That could definitely happen. And then I see us going up for a fifth. This is a very popular coin right now. And I don't have the volume set, but every time it takes a little dippity-doo, everybody buys it up. A lot of buying went on over here. And every time it takes a little dippity-doo, people buy it. So I think it might have one more hit to the high here for the third. Then we're going to get a fourth correction and probably a fifth wave up. I know there's a lot of talk, and I'm going to go back over to Bitcoin for this. I know that there's a lot of talk about this PI cycle indicator, that it's calling the top here. And I'm just going to put my thoughts on this. How do I want to say this? Let's put the 21 on. I'm not going to worry that this is some kind of top until we break the 21 on the weekly time frame. If we come down and we break this 21 and we start closing candles below it, as you can see, we held the 21 in the prior bull run the whole time. We wicked through it here, but it got quickly bought up, and we used it as support every time on this bull run up. I'm not going to worry about this being a top until we break this and don't hold it on the weekly time frame. And also, if the weekly doesn't hold the 50. As you can see, I've talked about this in my prior videos, that in the prior bull run, every time it came down, it held this blue 50 line. It went up into the 90s, came down, held the 50s. Went up into the 90s, came down, held the 50. If this comes down and does not hold the 50 and breaks the 21, then I will be concerned that that was a top. Until that happens, I'm not going to look at this as the top of this run. Now that's my bias, and I rely more on my TA than I do on an indicator. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please think about joining the Discord. You can get the trial offer we have going on right now. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day.